I can hear you.
Okay. Why can't you hear me? That's
Give me a
weird.
second.
Yeah, it's probably something. Hello? Yeah.
Hello and welcome. I'm Rish, co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld, a virtual world in augmented reality where creativity and entrepreneurship come together on one decentralized platform. From the Empire State Building to the Sydney Opera House to some of the more obscure places on Earth, in SuperWorld, our world is yours. Yours to buy, yours to sell, yours to create, and yours to explore.
Hey, there you go.
SuperWorld is mapped
Hey,
on top of the
okay.
real world to create over
I think we're back.
64 billion unique plots of land, with each plot measuring roughly 100 meters by 100 meters of real-world space. To give you an idea, one plot of SuperWorld AR real estate is about the size of Yankee Stadium. Ready to get started? Find land to cultivate for its strategic real estate location as a digital asset or that holds sentimental value for you. Buying and selling virtual real estate in SuperWorld is easy, as all transactions take place securely on the Ethereum blockchain, and every plot of land is represented by a non-fungible token on the ERC 721 standard. Personalize your world in AR through interactive 3D objects, animation, photos, videos, and text to truly make a world of your own. Ready to find your peace on Earth? Join us in SuperWorld.
All right. Hey, I think we sorted out some technical issues at the very beginning, but I think we're good now.
Good.
Very excited to have our next SuperWorld show. We've been away for a few weeks now. We've had lots going on, so very excited to be back with the show and talk a lot about what we've been doing in terms of progress and what's coming. What we're going to do today is I'm going to introduce my colleague Marco. We're going to talk about Marco and his background and what we're planning on doing with our growth strategy in Brazil. I'm going to go into our selection into base batches. So Coinbase chose SuperWorld as one of the top 50 companies, startups building on Base around the world, and we're part of Base Batches too. So very excited about that. So we'll talk more about that, and then also we'll go into our proposed subnet on Bittensor, and we've partnered with Bitstarter, which is one of the most influential accelerators on the Bittensor protocol. And we're launching a subnet, which is very exciting. I'm super excited about it. So we'll go into that, and then we'll dig in a little bit further on SuperWorld Brazil and our strategy there, and I think Marco can go into more detail there on ideas and things that we're working on. So I'll go ahead and start. Let me go ahead and introduce Marco. Marco, excited to have you on SuperWorld Show.
Hey, Rich. Good morning. Very excited to be here. Very pleased by the invite. Always a pleasure to be with you and to be doing the SuperWorld Show for the first time.
Nice. It would love just for everyone to get to know your background. As a Brazilian, as kind of helping and growing the Brazil's growth strategy with SuperWorld. Love to hear kind of just where you come from, how your perspective and what you're excited about.
Yes. So, well, my background, I can started as in the education industry. I started as an English teacher and later moved on to a sales position. And later I moved on to sales in B2B and working with startups as well. And what I'm excited about is able to grow still, being able to bring the word around and getting more users, getting more deals, growing the overall growth.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you cut off a bit, but I think I got it. We had a little bit of delay. Um, yeah, amazing. And we're excited to go into what you're working on with SuperWorld Brazil and what we've done thus far. If you are watching and and you speak Portuguese, you're interested in the Brazilian market, come and follow us at SuperWorld Brazil, SuperLD, it's just SuperWorld, and then BRASIL on Instagram. And we have a TikTok and an X and a YouTube coming soon. So, but right now, follow us on Instagram. That's the best place to get us. And if you're in the market or you speak Portuguese, a great way to learn about what we're doing at SuperWorld. With that said, I'll go ahead and give everyone an update on our accomplishments and progress as it relates to base batches. So Marco and I were very honored and excited to be part of first the base founder house, which took place at Founder House in Florianopolis, which is an amazing location. It's not only a co-working space, it's an investment house as well, bringing together investors. There's a very influential investor in Brazil called Jupiter, which is also run by Nima and our friends Bruno and Marina as well, that invests in startups out of Founder House. And our friend Nima and Paloma run Founder House. So we were very excited to be part of that. And again, thanks for Nima and Paloma for all their support there. And Coinbase held their base Founder House at Founder's House, so at Founder House in Brazil. So it was great. It was like a 3-day intensive program with the Coinbase team, meeting all of the international growth team members, the regional head, as well as to learn what's coming and talk more about how to integrate and get closer to the Coinbase ecosystem. So it was awesome. I had a great time, really to socially get to know everyone on the team. I don't know what I would love to hear about your thoughts around that.
Yeah, I mean, Base Founder House was a great experience in a beautiful location here in Brazil, in Julieta International. It's one of the most, I think, one of the most interesting neighborhoods in Florianopolis. Florianopolis is also a very beautiful place and a very good technology and innovation hub in Brazil. And I think it's just as you said, it was a great experience, a great opportunity to not only get more insight into strategies, but also to socialize and get to know other builders and other creators that are creating on base. And I think that added real good. Was an amazing experience overall.
Yeah, and I didn't even get to participate in all of the other stuff that they had in the morning. So I know that there was a lot of stuff that you did, super early in the morning there. What was it? There was some kind of like yoga and a lot of wellness stuff in the morning, right? Is that right?
Yeah, basically, I froze my bones in an ice tub. I did that for 2 mornings. It was a great experience, a very challenging one, but a great experience anyways. And also we did some sauna. They have a specific engine for a sauna, an outdoor sauna that they have in the rooftop. And we basically kept changing between the sauna and the cold plunge. We did that for about 3 or 4 times, then we were ready to go. And the other day we had a little yoga session just to lose the body and prepare for the day. It was great as well. I think it was about 7 a.m., 7 to 7:30 a.m. that this activity started. I think it's pretty early, but it was worth it.
Yeah, yeah. I just I was living on the other side of the island, and it was a little bit too early for me
Too early.
show up. But yeah, I vicariously experienced it through Marco. So, but it was like I think a really great way to meet everyone too, right? You really
Yes.
get to hang with all of the team members and everything the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great bonding experience. I mean, everybody's going to a cold plunge together. You kind of bond, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I loved about it is, and I think the Coinbase team did a really amazing job, but it really, it was really a great way to get to know everyone. And I thought that was amazing,
Yeah.
but just flip my background. Is this right?
Yeah. Now it's right. Yeah.
Now it's right. Okay.
Now it's
Thanks,
right.
Nikate. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Nikate, who's listening, mentioned my background was off, backwards. So thanks for if there's anything else going on, let me know. I'll fix it. Got any food in my mouth or anything, or food in my teeth?
I think it's
Please,
all good.
yeah, we appreciate it. We I was telling Marco we kind of do this on the fly. We'll do it pretty often. We want to be very open and communicative with the community. So, sometimes we're still getting there on the technical stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention about Base Founder House? I mean, the barbecue, incredible. I mean, for you,
Incredible
it's
barbecue.
probably normal, but for anyone visiting and for myself, I'm a fan of barbecue. Wow, it was like really great barbecue.
I mean, overall, the food was amazing. I mean, even the breakfast, amazing. We had bacon and eggs and all that. It was great. All 3 days. I mean, we enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and the barbecue was especially good. Me, as a Brazilian used to barbecue, I ate a lot of barbecue in my lifetime, and that barbecue was really, really good. Yeah, really, really good. I was almost exchanging contact information with the guys that were making the barbecue
Yeah,
just to make sure.
idea.
Like it was amazing barbecue. It was a great piece of meat, a great cut, and was really well prepared. So it was amazing. Yeah, the barbecue was on point.
Yeah, so great job by Coinbase. Thank you again for having us part of that. And then I think the big news is we were selected to be part of Base Batches 2. We went on to present on the Coinbase stage at DevConnect in Buenos Aires the following week, which was a couple of weeks ago now. And talked about our vision at SuperWorld in front of investors all over the world, those in the room, as well as it was live cast on a live stream globally, and you can find that if you search for it on YouTube. Hear more about our story there. But now we're in meetings with investors who love companies that are building on Base. Specifically, our vision is how can we bring utility to people in real world locations, enable people to discover and recommend places around the world, whether it's a restaurant or a hotel, maybe it's a real world asset you want to recommend. And that kind of reminds me, there's a lot of new people every week. So Marco, the one thing I'll do really quick is I'll just, just for everyone who's new, give a quick kind of summary of our vision at SuperWorld, so everyone understands, what it is we're doing, and why it's important. So I'll start by, telling everyone, I'm a global nomad. I live around the world, been doing that for a very long time. Love the world, love cultures, languages, people, places, events. It's really what I'm passionate about. And the reason I mention it off the bat is that's what SuperWorld's about. It's about getting to know the world. It's about discovering places, being able to recommend places that you love. Maybe it's a restaurant, a hotel you go to, or maybe it's a gym, anywhere, any type of a place or location. Maybe it's a piece of artwork. Maybe it's a museum. Maybe it's real world assets. Maybe it's a piece of real estate. And so, the vision is, everyone has a map. So you have a map, I have a map. And if we all use Google Maps, which if I ask anyone in this room, I'm sure 100% of the people would say they use Google Maps, and every day, if not a few times a week, at least. And that's what we're doing. Is we're built on Google Maps, and we're enabling people to personalize their map, their SuperWorld map, with any type of information, any type of content. And the thing is, the content is phygital. And what that means is you can add content to your map, any type of content, photos, videos, 3D content. You can add events, you can recommend locations, but all of these pieces of content are phygital. We're building the biggest phygital platform in the world. We already have, hundreds of thousands of content that have already been uploaded. But the idea is that content could have a digital and a physical interaction. So you could visualize it digitally on the map, or you could physically go to those locations and check into a restaurant or check into a piece of content that you visited that location, you went to that location. And that's the idea, is to have that physical and digital interaction. And so, again, you have a world, I have a world, so everyone can create their own map. We use the word world, but it's a map, it's a Google map. And then what we did was we divided Earth into 64 billion blocks. So each block covers a city block on top of Earth in a real world location. Each block's about $30 in today's prices. We're at 0.01 ETH on base. And so anyone can buy a block. And if you buy a block, you own that location and you earn at that location across advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data, gaming, analytics, DeFi, anything that monetizes at that location across everyone's map. So that's the vision of what we're building. Lot to build, lot of things to, that are coming onto the roadmap. And we're very excited about, the roadmap and the vision and what we're building. I'll let Marco, Marco, you're newer on the team. Would love to hear kind of what excites you about SuperWorld, what got you really interested in the vision, what you think about it. I think your volume might be off, or at least I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't know. I can't hear you anymore. I can't hear you, no. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Can anyone else hear him? Let's see if people can say something in the stream, if anyone else can hear you or not. Yeah, I don't see any confirmation that anyone can hear you.
Oh my God.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
I'm back? Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Well, technical issues, but we're getting over it.
Yeah.
So, what excites me is, let's talk about SuperWorld in terms of Brazil, right? Brazil is entering a new wave of digital innovation. And honestly, SuperWorld is able to grow here, I think, faster than almost anywhere else. Every day we see more Brazilian companies experimenting with AR, AI, and immersive digital experiences. And it makes sense. Brazilian consumers are super connected, super active online, and always ready to try something new. So that creates the perfect environment for technologies that blend the digital world with real life. And as you just said, SuperWorld basically turns the reward into an interactive digital layer. We think of it as a place where businesses and creators can build experiences, run campaigns, launch digital products, and actually engage with people using geolocation, AR, and AI, the whole thing. And Brazil has been reacting fast in that sense. I mean, recently we've seen brands launching AR experiences for marketing, creators looking for ways to monetize digital content, companies expanding digitally without the need for physical stores, and a huge spike in AI adoption to connect with better with customers, right? All of this, as I see, puts Brazil in a position to be one of the strongest growth markets for Superworld, whether you're a brand, an entrepreneur, or a creator. And the cool part is the opportunity is open right now. We are at the beginning here in Brazil. So if you want to be a creator to create immersive experiences, attract new customers through emerging tech, or bring AR and AI into the business, into your business, this is the perfect moment to jump in. I mean, before it becomes mainstream. Superworld is growing in Brazil because the country is creative, connected, and totally open to innovation. And anyone who starts now is going to be way ahead when this kind of tech becomes the standard for the next generation of the internet.
Yeah, that's the one thing I really love about Brazil. You know, it's a very social culture,
Yeah.
and you really, you know, it's really cool. You can't go anywhere um, and not have a 25-minute conversation. You know what I mean? Like you go anywhere and someone's going to have a conversation with you, and it's going to be in depth, and it's going to be social, fun. You know, you might get invited to a barbecue during that conversation. Like, you know what I mean? It's really cool. And so I
Yeah.
think the market is really ready and excited about social platforms. Everyone's on, you know, WhatsApp, and everyone's using Instagram. And so it's a very, you know, social media vibrant type of, you know, culture, which is cool. Again, we're cross-platform, so, you know, again, we're built on Llama, on Meta. We're, you know, partnered with. We're built on Google Maps. We're on Apple. We're on Android. We're integrated with Eighth Wall, which is Niantic's product. We're built on Ethereum, Base, Polygon. You know, Base is a layer 2 on Ethereum. We did have a connection with real estate on Polygon, as everyone remembers as well. The point being is we're cross-platform, and for a culture that is also very cross-platform. You know, they're hungry for platforms and networks and network effects, and so Brazil is like a really awesome market for it. So, you know, and then you know, again, then being a Dev Connect, being in South America, everyone kind of came down for that. It was a really powerful stage to be able to present our vision for Superworld. So I'm glad, you know, I got to review that vision with everyone. Hey, Nino, good to see you on the chat here. And you know, good. Looking forward to working with you, Nino. There's a lot of people in the community that are really helping us and pushing Superworld. So really appreciate that. Let me go into, you know, just a little bit more of a in depth on what we're doing with Coinbase and Base. You know, so after Dev Connect, we're really excited to announce that we launched our Base mini app. So if any of you are already on the Base app, one, you're lucky because it's a very invite-only thing right now. If you want some invites, drop me a message and I could try to see if I can get you on it early. But the Base app is being launched to the public soon by Coinbase. And we're on it already. We have a Base mini app for Superworld, and we will be featured by Coinbase when Base app launches, and featured as well even now. So, you know, excited to have anyone who's already on the base app, just look for SuperWorld app, and you'll find us, and you'll find our base mini app. Also, just find me on there. Just search for me, search for Marco. I have it on all my posts. So if you have trouble finding the base mini app, just find me, just first name, last name on the base app, and I'm like promoting it now on every post. So find me on the base app. Love to connect there. And we're also working with all of their international teams. So lots of great people at Coinbase around the world. We have Guy in Brazil, who's doing amazing work in Brazil. Carlos in Central America. Jaron in North America. Connor, Pat, across the mini app team. So lots of great friends now all over the world that are really helping to push and helping us grow and scale. And so whatever Marco is pioneering in Brazil, we're looking at the best ways to scale this message around the world. So those are some of the things I could think of. Anything else that you could think of, Marco, from Dev Connect and the conversations and other things that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, Dev Connect was a great experience and a great opportunity to just get a hold of what Base is doing. And the Base batches was basically that we could see the size of what they are thinking and the vision that they have for the future of Base itself. And it was great being part of that and being able to connect with other builders as well. And yeah, I think Base has a great vision for what they are doing moving ahead and how they support builders and the projects that are building on the chain. And I think the future is bright for Base and for all the projects that are involved in building Base. I think for what we could see, the structure, the way that they ran the batches and the demos, I think it was very enriching, and and gives a sense of what they are looking to build ahead. I think, yeah. If you don't have a Base invite, please talk to Rich. He's gonna get you an invite. It's very worth it to be on the Base app right now.
Yeah, and if you're on the Base app, what's really cool and what I'm really excited about is if you're on the Base app, it means that you have your Base wallet connected. And so when you come into SuperWorld, it's literally like click, and you can acquire virtual real estate anywhere in the world. The other really cool thing that I'm excited about is people are, now that you're in Base, we're on Base. You can own digital assets, related to real world locations on Base. It really helps people understand what we're doing a lot better. It's like, okay, this makes sense. This is part of the Coinbase ecosystem. We really love Coinbase and what they stand for, and we really have a lot of shared values there. So in terms of democratization of digital assets, and how we're working on bringing real world utility to these digital assets. So they're digital assets, but they give you benefits that allow you to enhance your real life, like things you're doing not just in some arcane kind of technology area, but in recommending a restaurant. Everyone asks me, hey, where do I go? Or I always have the question, where do I go? What do I do? I'm in a new place. And SuperWorld is aiming to answer that question from a very local perspective, which I think is a lot of fun and very interesting on a day-to-day basis. And that's kind of where we want to do is, bring these technologies to everyday life and make it something you want to use every day. So if you haven't come over to SuperWorld and created a world, it's just a map. It's a map of the world. You use Google Maps, come and upload your Google map. Or just come over to SuperWorld, create a map. And you can do lots of things on your map. You can add a Telegram chat or a WhatsApp chat onto the map. You can add content. We're coming out with a new feature, by the way. Here's some alpha here for everyone. comments on the map. So just like you guys use Google Docs and you put a comment on someone's Google Doc really quick, click a button, write a comment, do that on a map anywhere in the world. So you can like literally like put your little doodles on the map or add, and it's your map. No one else can write on that map unless you want them to. But it's your map. You can add content. You can tell people little comments, add notes, add emojis. And so that's what we want to do, is make it really easy, make it useful. So if there's things that, that we can do to make it better, let us know. Nino, who's on the call, doing some amazing things himself in immersive tech, and we'll be working very closely together. He's adding a lot of value, coming up with ideas on how we can, keep improving what we're doing. So again, if there's anything out there that we aren't doing that you want us to do, let us know. With that said, I'll jump into the next topic, which is our Bittensor subnet. Marco and I had a long conversation about this on Sunday, because a lot of it's very new, and it's very exciting. We've been connected to the Bittensor community now for about, I'd say, 8 months or so. First got some connections there at Proof of Talk, which is a big conference in Paris. I wouldn't say it's a big conference, but it's a very important conference on the crypto schedule, and a lot of fun. It was in the Louvre, and got exposed to a lot of the ideas in the Bittensor community there. Met James Altucher, who a lot of you might know. He's a famous investor, hedge fund manager. He's very close to Tim Ferriss and others. He's a big supporter of the Bittensor community as well. So had a good conversation with him out there. And then more recently, my friend Katul from Headline and Rob Greer from Still Core Capital, who's partnered also with Jason Calacanis, introduced me to Chris at Bitstarter. And so we've announced a partnership with Bitstarter. Very excited to work with them. They have an amazing team. And Chris was one of the founders of Macrocosmos, which is one of the most successful subnets on Bittensor. And we're working with Bitstarter to launch our next, the SuperWorld subnet, which is going to be one of the next subnets on Bittensor. And it's very exciting. I think what we're doing is also super useful. I think it's I'm excited as a user for this exact use case. So I can't wait to launch it because I want to use it myself. So I'll tell you what it is. So if you haven't, by the way, if you want to read more about it, go to bitstarter.ai, and you'll see a page there for SuperWorld. And you can read at a high level about what you're doing. And thanks for Nino for the question. We'll definitely get to Q&A, and we'll address that question. It's a great one. But back to the Bitstarter, what we're going to do is, in terms of our subnet, is we're going to surface social media and bring those social media conversations, and we're going to correlate social media conversations with real world events. And we're going to cross-reference other data sets for accurate geolocation. So what we're going to do is use Bittensor to effectively figure out what events are happening around us. And so, as an example, I just got to Spain, this week, or a couple of weeks ago, I should say. It feels like this week. Time, when you travel a lot, feels a little bit, I don't know. I guess a few weeks feels like it just happened, but I feel like it just got here. But now it's been 3 weeks or so, I guess. But long story short, I'm still trying to figure out what to do. Like what's happening this weekend. And sometimes when you get to a new place, or even if you attend a conference, or even in where you live, you don't really know what is all happening. And you have a conversation. Maybe I have a conversation with Marco, and I'm in Brazil, and he tells me about a barbecue I had no idea about, right? And maybe it's like a barbecue everyone knows about, but I didn't know about it. Or maybe it's something that only a smaller group knows about, right? And you have to get into the right WhatsApp group or the right Telegram group, and then you know about it, and then you go, and then, it changes your life, because you're like, wow, I had no idea this group existed, and this barbecue was happening, or this event was happening. And so, I think part of our mission is helping people discover what's happening around them and get that local perspective. And so what I'm really excited about is to enable Bittensor to allow us to find out what's happening and to geolocate events in real world locations using all social signals. So what I mean by that is being able to scan everything that anyone's tweeting about on X, or Instagram, or on social media anywhere, or on the internet. Literally do that really wide search of all information and put those events on the map. And that is something I would definitely want to use every single day. So very excited about that. And, the ability to tap into, in a very native way, into a location before you get there, or when you arrive, or as you continue to live in that location, and be able to get into new networks and circles, is super important. So I'm very excited about that. Marco, I know you're also aware of what we're building. Would love to hear your thoughts on, whether it's just kind of how you would use that, or what are some of the things you think about?
Yeah, the way I see it is, imagine being able to know everything that's going on in the city in like tonight or this week. Just as you said, events that you would not have access to previously, or you have to do a ton of work, of search work, or someone would have to refer them to you. Now you'll be able to access them directly through the map and see what's going on in real time, like in the city. And I think this is huge because sometimes you need to have a Luma invite for a certain event, or as Rich said, being in a WhatsApp group or Telegram group or whatever. And now you'll be able to have access to these events in the map. So imagine being able to just open the map and see, oh, this is going down here. This is going down here. There's another event on this location. Let's see what's the hottest one. What is the better one to check out tonight? I think this is what excites me the most. Being able to check all these events and always have something to do, and knowing whatever is happening in the city. I think this is amazing, actually.
Yeah, and the really exciting thing about it is this type of information you couldn't find out about unless you have millions of dollars in compute to be able to run that, or you're a large centralized technology company, like Google, like X, like Meta, etc. And even then you wouldn't be able to provide that data because it's competitive. You wouldn't be able to, if you're Meta, you're not going to get the info from X. And if you're X, you're not going to get the info from Instagram, because they're competitive walled gardens. We're cross-platform. We're open to all of these platforms. We're built across all of these platforms. We have communities on every one of these platforms. SuperWorld is not about just social media. That's not what we're about. We're about how can we leverage these technologies to enhance your life, and how can we collectively build a world that positively impacts Earth and humanity. And I think that, being able to access all of this information and provide that in the form of, geolocated events is kind of cool. So there's a lot of things that we're going to be able to do that, no one will be able to do. And we're going to be a source of that ground truth of information of events based on all of those social signals across all of those platforms. And hundreds of event websites that we don't even know about. I mean, obviously Lumon, Eventbrite, and Meetup and things like that, but across hundreds that no one even thinks to search or maybe doesn't even know about. So I'm really excited about that, and that's what we're working on. More information coming soon. But like I said, check out bitstarter.ai and click on the SuperWorld page, and you can read all about it. I think we'll go into our final topic. We just touched on it a bit, but maybe a little bit more of the strategy or excitement around SuperWorld Brazil, what we have going on there. What you're excited about, maybe South America, in general, or maybe it's a Portuguese strategy across, Portuguese language. Would love to hear, your thoughts on some of that, Marco, and, things that you think the community should know.
Yeah, so as we are starting the operations here in Brazil, I'm very excited about it because, I mean, as I just previously said, Brazil is a very creative country. We have a lot of creators in cross platforms, on Instagram, on X, and different platforms. And I think we are looking to try to bring these creators to SuperWorld. So make it a safe haven for them to use it for creation, for digital content, to spread their work, and just be able to be in SuperWorld. And actually helping them get into the digital content marketplace and helping them navigate this scenario. I think with these updates coming up with Bittensor, as we just mentioned, it will be much easier for them to be in the platform because they will have more resources to work on it. And yeah, I think that Brazil is very big on connectiveness and creativity. And we're trying to harness that power into SuperWorld to make it, as I said, a safe haven for these creators to just be on and create on it. So yeah, we're trying to disseminate SuperWorld into the creator economy, the creator's culture, and I think that's pretty much it. Of course, we're using like social media strategies to get them the message across and look at geolocated content more specific to Brazil culture. But yeah, I think we can look to get into the South American market with due time. We're just building a framework to do that, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Brazil.
Awesome. Yeah.
Lots of potential of growth and yeah, areas to cover.
Yeah, very excited about it. I love how we're using AI too. For anyone who checks out SuperWorld app Brazil or SuperWorld Brazil, which is our Instagram handle, my Portuguese isn't that good. So just to be clear, we're using some AI, but I'm excited about hopefully getting my Portuguese to that level.
Yeah, it's
part of it. So what we're going to do, Marco's going to make a lot more videos as well, and we'll get a lot more content out there in Portuguese. I think the community is really ready for that, and we have some great partners in Founder House, Guy at Coinbase, and others that are doing amazing things in the market alongside Marco here on our team. So yeah, very excited about that. With that said, let me go into Q&A so we just have enough time for that. And again, for anyone who's watching for the first time, we are doing X every week or so, and also this video show, SuperWorld Show, every week or so. We usually kind of alternate, and we announce, on social media, usually a day or two before. So just stay tuned for it. We'll try to be more consistent, but sometimes we gotta go somewhere like Buenos Aires, or there's always some kind of change in the schedule. It's hard to like pin down a one time every week for it. We'll try to be as consistent as possible. But the other way to get in touch with us if you have questions is join our Telegram, which is at SuperWorld Token, or join our Discord. Both of these can be found on our homepage. So if you go to superworldapp.com, the top right of the homepage, you can get on our Discord and Telegram. Get on both. Find us on Base. If you don't have the Base app yet, get on that. I'll try to get you some invites if I can. They're very, very strict on those, so I'll try to see what I can do if anyone wants those. Find us on the App Store. So that's SuperWorld Map on the App Store. Download the app. Create a world. It takes like a minute to log in and create a world, and get into digital assets. Acquire a location. That's a good way to. It's a good way to get into Web3. A lot of people are like, "Wait, what is this whole Web3 blockchain crypto thing? Like, what is it? I don't know how to get into that." We want to make it really easy for you to get in, and we want to make it really useful for you to get in. And I don't know a more useful way than for you to be able to personalize, recommend places, for you to be able to recommend your business. Maybe it's a not-for-profit you love. Maybe it's a sports team. There's so many ways that you could, use the platform. And if there's ways that we're not enabling you to use it right now, let us know, because we're always excited about building. I mean, comments actually came from the Coinbase team, right? So literally, great advice from the head of growth at Coinbase, Zen, and boom, like we got comments coming very soon to be, coming onto the platform. Hopefully this week, maybe even today. I don't know. I've seen it. Looks good. So that's going live soon. But that said, let me go to questions. So I'm going to start here with Nino's question. His question, this is Nino de Barros on LinkedIn. His question is, when you're taking Q&A, thoughts on how SuperWorld will interact with the emerging smart glass market, from Qualcomm to Google to Apple to Snap? Great question. I think that the smart glass market versus the virtual reality headset market is moving even faster. Meaning, I think that there's going to be much more adoption of smart glasses than we saw in virtual reality headsets, because they're more social. You're out there, you're doing something in public. They look like sunglasses. It's not like you have to sit at home plugged into a computer. You know what I mean? So I definitely see the huge potential of that, and that's why we're building SuperWorld. I mean, that's what SuperWorld's all about. SuperWorld's about getting out there in the real world using this technology, and so it's a great fit for what we're doing in smart glasses. We have some exciting partnerships to be announced on the smart glass side. So very excited about that. We have some creator partners that are already using smart glasses to create content. And you can see where that content might go in the SuperWorld, right? Into those real world locations. And so that's coming. One of our partners, WTAF, Women Travel and Food, is already in the space with smart glasses. So we're excited about doing more with them. But we're very excited about the market, Nino, and I think smart glasses are going to be huge. I've had a pair of those Meta smart glasses since they've come out, and they've gotten better and better in the last few years. So excited about the other glasses that are going to come out from Meta and from Apple and Snap and others. And yeah, that's why they call it social reality, as you said. So yeah, totally agree. Awesome. Let me go into the next question. And by the way, Marco, do you have any thoughts on smart glasses, AI-enabled AR glasses?
Yeah, I mean, this is not just the future; it's already here. We've seen huge improvements in that technology, and it's perfect for SuperWorld because, as we know, SuperWorld is a layer on top of the world, and if you have the specific tools to see that layer or to create that layer, even better, right? So yeah, I think we're looking into more advancements in that area, and it fits perfectly with SuperWorld. So yeah, just use it.
Yeah. I mean, I like, I'm a fan. I was telling Marco the other day, I love technology. I love what we do, first of all, and I love technology. And like, I love the real world, love doing stuff in the real world, but I also like how, technology is making us better, whether it's like using ChatGPT or, Llama or, Gemini or, any of the LLMs that you prefer to, help augment your ability to understand the world, answer questions. All of these tools are making us faster and better, and that's going across not only the AI aspect of it, but Web3. What Base is doing on the Web3 side, what we're doing to enable people to unlock reality. Like most people are like blows people's mind. Like, what? I don't even get that was possible. Right? And then what's happening on the XR side, AR, VR with the smart glasses, I think it's all super interesting. So I myself am very passionate and excited about what's coming. So great question, Nino. Let me go to the next question here. Will this allow, this is from Reniel, who's in, I think, Morocco. We talked a couple of weeks ago. I did a lot of research on the area of Morocco that he was calling me from, because I love maps. So I went in and looked at the place he is on the map, and super interesting. I think I even watched a YouTube documentary about the area of Morocco that he's in, because there's some YouTube content that showed up. I guess they knew I was looking at this. They started showing me content about this area in Morocco, and I learned about it. It was very interesting. So Reniel, and Reniel is a very active member of our community. So very excited to have you involved in terms of the ideas, the passion, this is how we all build together. So great question. Will this allow exact placement within parcel areas? So currently, the way we can place anything within a parcel area is being exact is GPS coordinates. So if you know the GPS coordinates, like down to like the 5th decimal, you can place that into a placement of a piece of content. Even the comments that are coming up, like you can just leave a comment on the map and move that comment and place it on the map wherever you want, right? But if you want to be super exact about it, you could even put the GPS coordinates of where you want that comment to sit, or you can just type in a restaurant and it'll tag it right to that restaurant or something, right? And so we have that, and that is from a XY on the map, right? It's not a Z coordinate like axis. So if you're talking about the Z axis, we haven't gotten there yet in terms of the coordinate placement of a piece of content. It'll put it on an XY axis. There are things that we're doing on the Z axis. with Google Geospatial Creator, but we haven't launched that yet, but some interesting things that we're looking at. We've also have a Google Earth CCM integration, which is live on the platform. If you ever place a piece of content, like a 3D file somewhere, these goggles will show up in the top left of the content. You can click on those goggles and you'll jump into the map. And then you can move things up and down a little bit on the map. So if you've seen that, if you guys are in advanced and you're doing GLB content uploads on the map, you can move things up and down. But right now we're pretty exact within like 4 decimal points on GPS. So hopefully that's good enough for now. But we're getting better. So placement within parcel areas is improving as much as possible all the time. As much as use is coming, like people are using those things. So, all right, let me go to the next question. What's the update on launch? And I think you're probably referring to the launch of our token. So SPWR is coming. We are getting closer to launch. One of the factors that we really look at as we think about the launch is market conditions. As everyone knows, the market over the last month and a half has been a little bit rockier than maybe the previous month or two before that. And so we just are looking at just more exciting, more positive market conditions. And, to just kind of time, put some more timing on that launch in that time period. But we'll have more news on that. It's coming soon. Keep using the application, keep collecting SWX. We have a leaderboard. If you know people that should be on the white list or the wait list, which is at superworldapp.com/token. Share the wait list with them. They'll get any early access opportunities that might come up for the pre-sale. You'll get more SWX. You'll improve on the leaderboard. The leaderboard, by the way, is superworldapp.com/leaderboard. So you can see yourself there and see, your progress on the leaderboard. But yeah, great question. We'll have more info on that coming soon. And then we'll have more info on the Bittensor subnet launch as well, which is also upcoming. With that said, I think we've answered all of the questions that we've gotten so far. I want to thank everyone for being here, for your support. Very excited to all build with you together. Marco, do you have any final words or anything you want to add? Feel free to chime in on anything.
Yeah, so overall, just really excited about the growing SuperWorld in Brazil and growing SuperWorld as a whole. As Rich just said, very excited to be able to build with amazing people inside of the platform and to see people building on SuperWorld as well. And I think, yeah, just get into SuperWorld as quickly as you can, build, create, and be an active member of the community. As we say, we are looking into a huge evolution in digital and physical content, and just try to be part of it. It's worth it.
Awesome. Thank you. And again, just to re-stress that if you guys have ideas, if you notice opportunities, if you want to introduce partners, if there's something we should be looking at. I think the thing I always say is we build SuperWorld together. That's the thing. So if you love our mission of, hey, you know what? Can we use all these technologies to enhance your real life, do something positive that gives you real world utility on a daily basis? And then collectively, how can we use these technologies to make a positive impact on Earth? So if that resonates with you, come and join our mission. You can just come and create a world, which is a map. Just, create a map, add your map, upload your map. That's easy to do. It's free. If you want to jump a little bit more into Web3, if you're ready for that, come and acquire a location that you love. They're about 0.01 ETH, which is a really great entry point. It's about $30. So, cost of a Chipotle or something like that. Now you can own the Chipotle location. Right? I love Chipotle. That's why I bring that up. But, so it might be that, or it might be like where you went to school, right? It doesn't have to be the Chipotle. It could be where you went to school. It could be a place that you love. Maybe where you got married. Maybe you climbed a mountain or something, and you want to own the mountaintop, right? Remember, you can unlock real world locations, add content that unlocks digital and physical interactions, and then more to come with the SPWR. We call that superpower token coming soon. So with that said, we're gonna sign off today. It's always awesome. And Marco, you should join us for SuperWorld Show more often. I mean, I love this. I think we should do this often.
Yeah, I think too. Let's do it more often. Next time I'll have the background set up. Early and let's do updates for the community.
Yeah, what we should do is we should make a Portuguese, maybe make the world yours in Portuguese there on your side.
Yes. Perfect. We can work that. Geolocated content, baby.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, everyone. See